give you an hour of absolute bliss because Patrice was in the coffee shop unexpectedly, right? And when you don't do it, it isn't like your life is awful and you're off the rails. And it does mean you're not getting the richness that is here for you. The richness. And so the difficulty is, well, how do I shut my head up? How do I take off this hat that tells me, well, succeed, got to do this, got to do that? You just do it. The first, this wonderful movie Samarah and I went to called We Bought a Zoo. How many of you have seen this? Bought a Zoo? Not yet. Well, go and see it if it feels right to you. There is a moment, it's in the trailer, so I'm not giving anything away, when the character says, if you just take 20 seconds of insanity, I believe that's what he says, or 40 or whatever it is, I promise you, something amazing will happen. And so it's that 20 seconds of overriding your old voice that says, oh, I said I would go get the groceries, so I better not stop, or whatever it was. So those 20 seconds that let you into that realm teach the body, mind, spirit, I'm following a new map. I'm following a new map. And so it isn't that you have to figure it out or, give up your life. It's that you decide, I'm going to let that instinctive heart guide me to some of the places and people that would be most delicious. The old maps, you may as well just kind of burn them, How do we run the government? Oh, yes. Invest in real estate. You can't go wrong. Right. How's that working for you? Right. So, what do you trust? What do you trust? If the old way of being a good person and being successful has no longer the criteria that make any sense, what do you trust? And all I'm saying is trust yourself. Trust yourself, your real self, that instinctive heart that knows. That we, as a people, have bypassed for a long time because we wanted to make sense of things. Well, that's over. It's time to be out of your minds and in a very sacred and beautiful place, which is that instinctive heart. What I can tell you is that if you look through the months ahead, 2012, if you don't create a new map for yourself, chances are you will continually be lost and disappointed. Because things are not predictable in that old strategy. And so you'll keep saying, but he said I could, or she promised that, blah, 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 blah. Or I've worked here for 20 years and it's not going to work. And it's not a punishment. It's that the evolution of humanity has come to the point where it's like, okay, take off the training wheels and ride. Ride in your own knowing, in your own life, and in your own light. And that experience, once you've done it, that first 20 seconds and then the second 20 seconds, you'll be hooked. Because you'll feel like yourself. You'll feel like yourself. Because that is what you're doing and being, yourself. I do not suggest or be a proponent of following anyone. receive information, listen to friends, read, get guidance, absolutely. But ultimately, you have to come inside and say, is this right for me? Is this my joy? Is this my way of allocating my time and my energy and my love? And there's a moment you will come to when it looks like the glamour of the old would hold all the treasure for you. It'll glimmer at you and say, oh, give up that instinctive heart and come with us. We'll give you a 401k and a gold watch. Or whatever the promise might be. And I think in that moment, it's important to not only have the courage of your convictions, but to also have had some experiences in which you say, you know what, I remember pulling over and winding up having coffee and then this and that and this and that and this and that, and having more time. We could all share stories like that. So you begin to really get on track with this new reality, that I really am a creator in my life, not just a bystander in my life. And that's really going to be amazing. Because at the end of 2012, what I would love for each and every one of you is to look back to this day in January and say, you know what? I followed my path. I followed my heart. I went where I wanted to go. I did what I felt to do. I played with the people I wanted to play with. And my life is rich in every way. Because the other thing that I'll tell you is that that's where the richness is. That's where the richness is, in the juice of being you in your life. Being you in your life. Whatever that looks like. Essential oils, perfect. Painting, perfect. Channeling, perfect. Nature, photography, whatever is your thing. It's that joy, that absolute joy. The other purpose behind all of this is that around you, the people who are still trying to follow that old map and are disappointed and in some aspect of fear, you're happy, you're smiling, you can be a beacon for them. Not by telling them, yes, do it my way, but rather by saying you have within you all that you need. Just listen a little bit more to what's going on. So 2012 is going to be a year in which the old maps glisten for a little while and then fall, glisten and fall, glisten and fall. And those that will be happy will be those who have their very own map. Your life, your reality, your happiness, your love, your families, your friends. While still sending light and love to everyone, of course. Yeah, okay. This is also a year coming up when there will be many encounters with angels. You know, there was a little time when that was new, and you had those television shows like Touched by an Angel, you know, whatever, 10 or so years ago, right? And everyone was like, oh, wow, angels on television, isn't that astonishing, and all of that. Did you notice that now there's a whole spate of shows about vampires? Have you noticed that? Isn't that interesting? Well, part of what this is about, in case you hadn't yet figured that out, haven't figured that out, okay. You're thinking, vampires, what's up with that?